So yesterday, the Archon Studios had a live stream, and they showed off a bunch of the new StarCraft stuff. And I thought I'd go through some of it. And they said none of it was new. I actually think something slipped through, which I kind of think they did it on purpose. But whatever. Let's take a look at what they showed. So this one is the special model you get when you take Raynor's Raiders, specifically like it's a for 40k terms and attachment, or like a sub faction. If you take Raynor, you get this guy. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. I don't know. I am unconvinced on the bottom part of the base where the looks like jelly is spilled, but maybe when you get that painted, it's fine. I get that they're trying to do like you don't have to paint these things to get them on the table and look fine. Is that going to work out? I don't know. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. Otherwise, model's good. I don't know. I don't know. It's just fine. What do you want? What do you want? Then I think I've tried looking, and it might be on the internet somewhere, but I tried looking, and this is the best shot of Raynor I can get. It looks good. I don't know. I'm wondering. The question I have for him though is the skull on his helmet? Is that a decal? Is that painted on? Is it like the helmet raised a little bit? I am curious because I'm gonna do it. I'm really hoping it's a little easier than just freehanding it. I mean, I'll do it, and I'm pretty confident I could do that. I don't know. I've done it before, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see a better, more high res picture of this than it's kind of like a Bigfoot sighting right now. So then we got the first Marine. Now, this looks good. He's throwing a grenade. He's got the little crystal there. I am unsold on the crystals. There's a few of the glowy effects, like the clear plastics they've got that I do like, and I'll tell you about those when we get to them. It looks good. I think, weirdly enough, the Terrans are like my least favorite StarCraft race. They're not bad. They're just, whenever I can play as not a human, I generally don't play as a human. But the models just really translated well to miniature form. I just like the blockiness. They look like they can move. It's just really good. Really good. And we got a Marauder. I really like the Marauder. In fact, he might be my favorite Terran model. I think he's my favorite Terran model. He might be like my favorite one of the models, period. He just looks cool, all right? I don't know. Does he make sense? No, but he's got that 40k thing going on to him. And he's got those Mega Man boots. Look at those things. Those are things of beauty. We got the Medic. And the Medic, I am unconvinced again on the green Healy beam thing. I do like it on the shield, though. Let's look good on the shield. I'm not convinced on the thing. But, you can always paint it up. I'm sure it'll be fine. Model looks good. Yeah, I don't know. What should I say? Then we got another Marine. Now, the interesting part is they said that you can just wash this and it'll be like ready to go. And I am slightly concerned because GW did this. GW did do this. If you ever look back at their old off-white, sort of beige-ish skeletons, they tried this. Did it work there? No. However, I will point out this is a lot better of a model than those skeletons and those skeleton horses. Okay? So it could work. The other thing is if you do that, you got to varnish, because if you didn't prime it, it's going to rub off as you play with them. So, just something like that. Model looks great. I really like the battle damage on there. I have been so burned in the past by these model companies that, like, you can tell they bought a rule system and then they just slapped intellectual property on there and called it good. I don't think that's what this is. I'm really excited about it. All right, so this is the one in question. If you look in that top left corner, that, my friend, is a Goliath, or as I like to call him, Ed 209. I don't know. He looks really good. I'm excited about that one. He's one of my favorite units to use in the Terran campaigns. I am curious how they're going to do some of the bigger things. So, like, a Goliath is, he's a walker, but, like, a siege tank is going to be quite a bit bigger. Actually, is that what a siege tank is at the top? Hold on. I think it is. All right, they're going to scale it down. That's how they're going to do it. So the real question I was wondering about is, like, battleships and carriers and ultralisks. Like, they got to put these things in because they're really iconic and popular. But I just didn't know, like, how they're going to do it. They're going to scale them down. Okay, totally makes sense now. Yeah, I don't know. It all looks really good. I am slightly wondering about the terrain, how important levels is going to be, because levels in StarCraft is pretty important, and levels in 40k is a constant form of pain. So we'll have to see how that works out. All right, so we're going to move on to Protoss. Now, I'm not a Protoss guy, okay? I like Protoss, but they're my least favorite of the factions to play, and frankly, I think these models are the best ones. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the paint scheme is a little bit more inspired. I don't know, but these things are just great. Look at these guys. They are amazing. The shields popping around them is kind of cool, but the blades work. The clear plastic blades, that really works. The Stalker's nice. I don't know, I never realized he wasn't symmetrical. Maybe I should play StarCraft more or pay attention to the unit models more. I don't know. But these look great. Got another view of them. Twin Blades guy is rocking it. They're all just good. I don't know. Also interesting that they had the person painted the crystals, which looks quite a bit better than the just other ones. So I don't know. All right, so then here we got the base model, and they said once again you can wash it and it'll work. But I think the blade works. Washing it's gonna be interesting on this one because it's gonna be like zealots are like half and half armor and skin. But you know, if you're not a modeler, just do it. Who cares? In fact, I don't even know if you need to paint these now that I think about it. And so we got a close-up of Artanis, and he's got a couple of build options. Apparently, you can switch out both of his arms. I think this one's cool. He's one of the better looking of the characters, in my opinion. And I say this is I like Artanis, but I just like Zeratul. Okay, Zeratul though is like extraness of always like popping out of shadows. You know, every once in a while he just gets punched for it. But Artanis is cool. I really like him. The model is great. It might be one of my favorite ones of the entire thing. I don't know. I really have a hard time picking favorites, but all right. So then we got this is the Protoss starter set, and so I think it looks great. I am slightly concerned about painting the crystal and the pylon, but other than that, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to paint the Protoss. I'm a Zerg person, all right? My Zerg is my favorite. I just always like Zerg. That's what I played the most growing up. And the Protoss ones are the ones I'm most intrigued by. The only thing I'm nervous about is painting that crystal, because painting huge flat areas of crystal is I'm not going to describe it as fun, but I'm also going to be interested because you're going to have less of them, because I think they're like the elite style, like expensive but high stats and low model count army, which means I can put a little bit more time into painting each model, which will be great. This one is all right, I don't remember the name offhand, but the little drone guy, they pop out bubbles that block pathways. I think that's what this is. I don't know. I did it. All right, I included this for completion. You know what I mean? Here's the pylon without the paint scheme. Looks better this way for the clear crystal, because it doesn't like the, what do you call it? The uncanny valley? Not the uncanny valley. Well, kind of. Where it just looks, it looks like a toy. You know what I mean? And then when they have this nice paint job on the metal, and then they have the crystal, it doesn't look as good. So then we're on to the Zerg. So we got the Queen, and she's got that clear plastic in the back. Now this one I think does work. And I don't know, I think this model is really cool. As of the Zerg units, this is one of my less liked design-wise. I think they're okay. They just, I don't know, this never really clicked for me. And the artist they got for this really kicked it out of the park, or knocked it out of the park with this one. Man, that is so good. I'm curious about the base. Is it just blended with paint, or is that something over it? Those little like what do you call them? Grubblies on the base there. But no, it looks really good. They did a great job with those transitions. I love that transition from purple to yellow. Yeah. And we got my favorite unit of all of StarCraft, the Zergling. I've done so many Zergs. Zerg campaigns where you just amass like 200 Zerglings and just let them loose and just watch the carnage. Is it the smartest way to play? No. Is it like sophisticated? No. Is it fun watching them just swarm things? Yeah, that's my favorite part. I do like the wings. I'm probably gonna paint them on mine, but I don't think you need to for those. Those look all right. And once again, the artist did a really great job here with this paint scheme. I really like that yellow. It's almost like 2 steps away from being metallic, which is interesting. But they're going with that because, like, if you look at Zerg in game, like their chitin is thick and not thick. It's hard and it's slightly reflective, which makes it a little difficult to capture the essence of when you're painting. And we've got this beauty right here. I never noticed he had 2 jaws before. Well, I don't know. There's not really a whole lot to say. I really think it's great. I like the paint job. I think the model design turned out really well. I'm curious if they can move while burrowed. I don't really know. I haven't really followed the rules tons. I'm gonna look more into them once I start like teasing and showing stuff. It's just like I know like Zerg burrow and Terran deep strike. I mean Terran drop pod or come from they can teleport. And Protoss can go into cloaks, and I'd imagine burrowing and cloaking is kind of the same, but I wonder if these guys could move, because that was like kind of what made them nuts. And all right, we got the all right. I love this model, but it is remarkable how they both happen to capture both the masculine and the feminine, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I think it looks really cool. Apparently, if you can mount Kerrigan on top of it, and I think this is more of a token, so it's like a model for like you put a Nidus tile down, but it's not like you buy a Nidus worm, which most of the time honestly will be people who buy 2 starter sets to save money, and then you have 2 Kerrigans. You don't need 2 Kerrigans, and rather than give one to a friend because they could buy their own, you put the second one on top of there. It's like she's riding the worm. So we got a separate scheme here, but this is the first time on the stream they showed the Hydralisk painted. And honestly, they knocked it out of the park. It's possibly the most iconic unit in StarCraft. I know everyone's going to say something different. It's like Pokemon. Everyone's got their different favorites. But I really think the Hydralisk it embodies StarCraft. How much art has him, how many of the cinematics and the cutscenes feature these guys. They're sort of the Zerg unit. They're sort of the main Zerg staple. Do I like this paint scheme better? Partly. I think it pops less because it's a much more dull, muted tone, but I love that red. That red's really nice. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my Zerg. But luckily I've got a few months to figure that out. But yeah, it's all looking good. So here's the unpainted. Oh geez, I lost their name. What is it name? You know what? I'm not going to remember. I'll remember it as soon as I shut this stream down. Am I going to edit it in? No, I'm not going to do that. The acid spit looks all right. The spines look okay. I don't know. I wonder if you can just hit those with a wash. I've never washed a clear plastic before. But, oh. And here they showed us Kerrigan herself. This is possibly the one I'm most excited for. Zerg was my faction that I played the most with me and my friends. And I'm really excited to see how she plays on the table. I love that they gave her the Nidus Canal so she can move her stuff around the field. Teleportation-ish, so they can go through the tunnels. Yeah, the model's good. I'm excited. I know it doesn't look quite as good because of her wings are quite thick compared to what they normally are, but you got to remember this is a game that you're going to be playing. People are going to be grabbing models, and if you get these ones, like you've seen the accurate ones of those 3D prints or the statues you can buy, and they're so thin, and those are for display. This is for playing, and I really appreciate that. I mean, it still looks good. It just doesn't quite look as good as it would if they were just a little bit thinner. But I totally get that. They've got to make it so that it's usable without having a million players running around with all their Kerrigan's wings snapped off because they just got tired of fixing them. But yeah, she looks great. I'm really excited. This is possibly the model I'm most excited to paint. Um, I don't I don't know if they did quite as great of a job as they did on Artanis. They just killed it with Artanis. He was so good. But yeah, next up we got just a regular Hydralisk, unpainted, coming in that nice purple. I'm curious why they didn't do orange if they want to do washes. But looks great. He's a little bit big. He's a little bit bigger than I expected him to be, as sort of the mid-sized Zerg unit. But no, he's great. Like I talked about earlier, they're my favorite. They're one of my favorite Zerg units to use. Them and Zerglings, I just love the basics, the meat and potatoes. And so I'm excited to paint one of these as well. Here's from, I think this has got to be like a tutorial or something, and then you can move or measure the distance between them. But I'm sort of including it for completion's sake. And, yeah. I don't know. I just think I like the gold better. I like the gold better than the silver Protoss. I know it's more like how the Protoss are portrayed in the game, but I just think it pops out better on the field. All right, so then we got the starter box. So this is the 2-player starter box. It comes with everything here, and let's see. I'm curious about like points. They said this is like 1,000 points. So theoretically, you buy 2 of these, you got 2,000 points. Now, obviously, you're not going to use 2 Kerrigans and 2 Raynors. However, if we just do like a quick estimate, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 models in Terran. 19 if you count the drone thing. I don't know if we're going to count that. I think you just get that for being Raynor, if I understood what they said correctly. But so double that. Yeah, okay. I was worried it'd be like 100 models for a full-size army, and I really don't want that. I know it'd be cool and people really would enjoy that kind of thing. I just kind of hope this is more of a smaller, skirmishy style, just so that I can put more time into painting each model and that kind of thing. And then it's more likely because, when you play 40K, it's a time commitment. You got to set up all this stuff. If you could get these games done in an hour and a half, that would be nice, like a nice, relaxing game of murder. But yeah, so Zerg count, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. It's around 60. 30, I don't know if you count the Nidus Worm as just like the same thing as the drone, but yeah, I don't know. I think, and obviously with Zerg, you can take less Zerglings and take more Hydralisks and Ultralisks and the bigger guys as they start to come out. But yeah, I think that's a great point, a great number of models for this kind of game. So this is what the starter set comes with, the widgets and stuff. So we got some tokens, and I think they said they're activation tokens. I know I've activated this because I put the token next to it, or I took the token away. However you want to do it. The mat, the terrain. I'm not sure if that head of the Protoss statue is that flat, or is it a piece of plastic? Is it a mat, kind of like their mat? I think it pops out. I just can't tell from this photo. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still a little I'm wondering about what the terrain's going to be like, because terrain is often a commitment that makes a game look a lot better, but it is a lot of work or it's expensive. So we got the size comparison. And I really like how they're taking the sizes and they're keeping them pretty accurate, because Stalkers are pretty big, and that Marine is, you count those Mega Man boots, he's probably like 7 feet tall. I don't know, whatever the canonical height is. But that Stalker's more than twice as big as he is. That's perfect. I really like that they're not shying away from making this stuff feel different in size ratio. But yeah, that's basically it, folks. They talked about some rule stuff and about they're gonna do events and all these things, and I don't have enough information, and I'm gonna wait till we get like a demo or a stream where you can watch and you can learn how it works, because just little tiny pieces, I don't feel it helps me understand what's going on. But yeah, hopefully we can start getting some actual rules and demos and games going on that we can figure out how they're doing things. And yeah, apparently the pre-orders are going up in March, so release should be in a few months after that. Looking pretty excited. I was still to just do Zerg and Protoss, but I think I'm gonna have to just get Terran too. I'll just accept this is who I am. I'm gonna just get all three factions and probably just complete the range. Am I gonna play them all? Probably. I don't know. It depends on how much my play group enjoys these games, or if they're just gonna play it when I'm like, all right, let's play this every 6 months. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm really excited, even just for the hobbying part, because like I've mentioned before, growing up with StarCraft, these are just integral to my gaming upbringing. Where I love playing StarCraft. About once a year, I go back and play through. Usually don't do the whole thing, but I'll go through and get the hits. But yeah, if you guys want, you could let me know what you're excited about in the comments. You could you could subscribe. I will talk about more in this future, or just don't. I don't. Do whatever you want. Do what you want. But yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next one.